welcome to Those Forking Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy, book, TV, movie, pop culture, and how they integrate into our adult lives. I'm Christine.
And I'm Natasha.
And today we're going to be discussing all things Taylor Swift Speak Now, Taylor's version, all the new developments there, and we're going to be fan casting A Court of Thorns and Roses, the series. It's going to be a fun time. We're really excited. We all have like nominees for like the core cast. We've got some of the like expanded cast. We're going to have our chat and ourselves like vote on the best nominee in each category. So we have like our final casting choices at the end. I'm excited. It's going to be a time. And Natasha, what do we have?
Today we actually have a special guest. It's one of our Team Pulse Bananas listeners, Nahomy. Nahomy, can you give us a little introduction to you, what you do, where you're from, who you are, and then fill us in on your favorite fandoms?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name's Nahomy. I am 24 years old. I live in Cleveland, but I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. I lived there for about 14 years, and I'm a social media specialist for Overdrive. Overdrive is a company that creates digital reading apps, so if you use Libby, hey. And in my free time, I just read a lot, and I create bookish content, and some of my favorite fandoms, of course, Taylor Swift. This is the perfect episode. Taylor Swift, Acotar, Twilight, Hunger Games, Harry Potter, Vampire Diaries, you know, all the OGs.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram at? I love her Instagram. It's so aesthetic.
Thank you. My Instagram ad is at Nahomy's Library. My name is spelled a little different, so it's Nahomy at Nahomy's Library.
Linked in the show notes, y'all. Go follow Nahomy.
Hey.
Her Instagram is beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
That's gorgeous.
We're going to roll into Snap Crackle Pop Culture News because we've got a lot to talk about today. The first one I'm going to move through pretty quickly, but it was announced that Billie Eilish has an official song on the Barbie movie soundtrack, which I am so excited for because
It's really pretty.
I love a Billie Eilish song. And we're going to roll right into This Week in Taylor Swift because so much has happened on This Week in Taylor Swift. First of all, Speak Now TV has come out. And I want to start by talking about the lead single, I guess like you can call it, which is I Can See You, because at her concert in Kansas City, she brought out Taylor Lautner. And before any of us who weren't there knew about this, like the music video was set to drop at 10. And were all of you, Natasha wasn't watching it live. Nahomy, did you see it live?
I did not, no.
Were you spoiled for Taylor Lautner?
No, I think I saw it like the next day.
Okay.
You watched the video or were you spoiled?
Oh, I watched the video and I saw him in the video. I thought you meant like at the concert. No, I saw the next day that he was at the concert.
Okay. Well, I'm so on top of this shit with all my Taylor Swift follow Twitters. So I'm so glad that I was at a friend's house, but a Swiftie that I follow, that I talk to all the time on Instagram, Ali, let me know that a music video was releasing. She was like messaging me. I was like, I'm getting a lot of messages. I'm going to check my phone because we were watching a movie together. And she's like, Christine, a music video is dropping in an hour. I was like, oh my God. Are you okay, Bellamy? Okay. I was like, oh my God, you guys, we have to stop everything and watch this music video in an hour. I'm sorry. And in the music video, for anyone who didn't see it, it's very much like it starts off like in a spy van, and Joey King is in there with another woman named Presley, who was in Taylor Swift's Mean music video back in 2010, and Joey King goes into this museum, and it's got like all of Taylor Swift's past outfits from Speak Now and Fearless Behind Glass. And Joey's in there. She goes like through these lasers like in Toxic music video, Britney Spears. And Taylor Lautner falls from the ceiling. And I'm with like my neighbor's a Swiftie, but like she's not like me, so she's not like reacting like I'm reacting. And then my other neighbor that's with me watching this movie is just like knows Taylor Swift because her husband likes her. So she was just like sitting there, and I'm like, Joey King. And for anyone who doesn't know, okay, Taylor Swift dated Taylor Lautner back in 2009, 2010. She wrote famously Back to December about Taylor Lautner. There's other songs that's about Taylor, but like that's the famous like I'm sorry for ghosting you song for Taylor. And Taylor dumps down from the ceiling, and all these guards come to, you know, like get them out of the museum that they've broken into, and he fights them off, doing all these like crazy action moves that Taylor Lautner is famous for. And over the years, Taylor has talked about how he like would really love to star in an action film and on SNL.
He did do an action film with Lily Collins.
Yeah, but it was like a fail. It was not good. It was really bad.
I forgot that he had all of that in him. Like I just completely forgot that he could do all that stuff.
Oh, I didn't. I'm obsessed with him for this. Like, this is why I fell in love with Jacob. Like, he is a martial arts expert. He can do like backflips and dance galore. And so, yeah. He did an SNL skit back after the Kanye incident. So there's so much background here because Taylor and his wife have a podcast called The Squeeze now. And he talked about on the first episode how his biggest regret is that on the stage of the VMAs, he was presenting that VMA to Taylor Swift for Best Music Video for You Belong With Me back in 2009. And then Kanye came up and he was so confused. He thought it was like a skit that he was coming up and being like, hey, I'm going to let you finish, but Beyonce should have won. And Taylor Lautner just kind of like didn't know what was going on and didn't say anything. And he didn't realize that Taylor like didn't know what was going on or was super upset until like she was leaving the stage and he saw her face. And he like really regrets not doing anything or saying anything in the moment to defend her. And so on SNL, he did it like this sketch like soon after when he was hosting, like what he wishes he had done in that moment to defend her. And it was the routine that we see him doing in the video. I Can See You. Wow. You can watch the side by side. I sent the tweet to Natasha because I was amazed at how they did that full circle, that he got to defend her that way in this music video. It's so fucking beautiful. Sorry, I've been talking so long, but like I was so passionate about this music video. And while he's doing that, he's standing in front of the piano and the outfit that she wore on tour when she sang Back to December.
Wow.
All right.
Everything has meaning.
Everything has meaning. So basically they break Taylor out of a vault, like with Speak Now. So she's been like locked up in this vault. And I'm just going to continue on why I love this music video so much. And then I'm sorry, I'll let you all talk. But like in this vault, she has like the Speak Now Taylor's version with her, and they break out 2010 Taylor and they're running and the whole museum is exploding because like in doing the re-recording, you know, she's kind of erasing all of her old work. She's rendering it like inactive, everything that she did. I'm gonna let you finish. Amy. I'm sorry. I am gonna let everyone talk. But I've been dying to talk about this with anyone and I haven't been able to, can you tell? But anyway, she like everything's exploding around her, and as they're leaving, like she turns around and she's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like I'm just like all my old work is exploding and I have to just let it go. But like that's the only way I can move forward and own my work. And
yeah,
it's so beautiful. Okay, what did you guys think? I texted Natasha and I was like, watch this right now.
I'm so glad you texted me because if the little backstory, this whole week my head's been down and I've been sewing outfits for the Barbie movie premiere, and she texted me, she's like, just watch it now before you get spoiled. So we sat down, me and Taya and her boyfriend Liam and my brother Alex, and we watched it. And as soon as we were like, oh, okay, and then when Taylor Lautner popped on screen, we were just talking about him too because we were listening to Speak Now as we were sewing, and Tay and I were just like, what? Like, we freaked out. Oh. Yeah. Nicole says, Natasha, after the TSO discussion, I want to hear how you like the Barbie movie. So we're going to be talking about that on Fangirl Tea Time.
Yeah, we're going to talk about her experience at the premiere.
I will say a few words about the movie, but not too much. I don't want to really spoil literally anything. Not now. Put your headphones back on.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything.
I'm like, what's happening?
Okay.
But yeah, I love the music video. I thought it was honestly like her best music video in a long time. I loved Bejeweled, but like this one had a lot more meaning to it.
This was much better. I mean, Antihero was really good. That one was really well done. What did you think, Naomi? Thoughts?
I loved it. I actually haven't looked up any like breakdowns of the music video because I was waiting for this.
Nice. Did you like my breakdown?
Yes. I just don't know. I've seen pictures of Taylor and Joey King together, but I don't know if there's a correlation, like if there's a story of them. Like I don't know.
She was in the Mean music video way back
Joey
in
King?
the day. Joey King. Yes, she was a little girl.
I thought it was the girl in the truck, the Presley.
They both were. I think they both were in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then I don't remember.
When I saw the costume, because she looks at the costume from the music video, and I was like, wait a minute, I know that costume, and I couldn't place which like Speak Now version that costume was from, and then I saw a tweet saying that it was from Mean. But yeah, so they're all been involved in the Taylorverse for a long time. I love that. And then there was another little Easter egg as they're driving away in that car, over the bridge. It says like Taylor, the 1989 TV, and it's coming out 9/1. So it should be coming out September 1st of this year, which is really exciting. Yeah. We've all been waiting for 1989 Taylor's version.
Yes. That's the only thing I saw on Twitter, that 1989 thing. I gotta rewatch it, honestly.
Yeah, I've now watched it like 5 times. I just keep watching the action sequence. I'm like, I love this so much.
He did all of his own stunts too.
Yes.
Nice.
So at that concert, she brought out Joey King, and then she brought out Taylor Lautner, and Taylor like was going down the runway, and he did like a running like back a full flip sort of thing, and he was like, I wasn't planning to do the flip, but it just felt right. There's all these memes that's like no one and blank, and then it's like Taylor Lautner backflip. Yeah, and it's the same backflip, like specifically that he did in the Valentine's Day movie that Schatz is pointing out. So everyone's also using that clip and then finishing it with the clip of him landing at the concert, which is really cute because Taylor Swift plays his girlfriend, and in that clip of Valentine's Day, she's like, he's such an amazing athlete, show him, babe, show him. And then he does the flip.
I forgot about that.
I love Taylor Swift in that movie. She's so fucking funny. But also, okay, so there's a lot of Easter eggs in this video. One being like, there's a shot of her lips that looks like a shot from, I think, the Style music video. And then the whole theme of the video very much feels like it leads into the Bad Blood music video. They have the same silver case that she's like stealing from Selena Gomez in the beginning of the Bad Blood music video. So I found that really fun because it feels like a prequel, like they're bringing her into the spy organization.
I just have to say, because when you texted that to me, that and I told Taya, she's like, "Is Bad Blood about Taylor Lautner?" I was like, "No, it's about Katy Perry."
How do you not know this famous information from
know.
2014? Out of the loop. All right. So now that we've talked about, also I saw the funniest meme after like Taylor Lautner came out on the concert. In the concert, everyone was like, Joe Jonas right now being like, why did she invite me to come on stage dressed as a moth to the flame? It was very funny because she changed the lyrics now. Another huge thing of Better Than Revenge from she's better known for the things that she does on the mattress. To he was a moth to the flame. She was holding the matches. So that was also a big thing happening with the Speak Now Taylor's version that I put on my stories the second that I heard it on Twitter because I thought that it was like common knowledge because literally Twitter was all over it. It was trending. And then everyone was like, Christine, you spoiled me. How dare you? And I felt so bad. So if you are one of those people I spoiled, I'm sorry. How are you guys feeling about the new lyrics?
I honestly didn't even notice them like you did. I just kept singing everything that I know.
Notice everything felt wrong when the chorus came on. Did you notice?
Well, I wasn't listening too hard because I was sewing.
No, yeah, I had a feeling that she was going to change the lyric, like for a long time. I was like, when she said that she was re-recording, I'm like, she's gonna change that lyric just because of, how much she's grown and everything. Like, I knew she was gonna change it. Like, I was not surprised when I heard it.
Yeah. The thing is, though, like, the day before, when I, like, saw that this was rumored to be happening, I was like, well, if she changes that lyric, is she going to change all the rest of the lyric? Because the whole song is like that. Like, soon she's going to learn stealing other people's toys on the playground won't make you many friends. Like, no amount of vintage dresses gives you dignity.
True. I guess that one's a little bit more slut-shaming than
just
the rest.
The word mattress. Like,
yeah.
But, yeah, I respect the change. I just, in retrospect, it's kind of funny because the rest of the song is, like, really petty as well.
I just figured she would take the whole song out because it is very, girl against girl.
But it's also very 2009. Like, it's very much where she was. And this isn't about, like, erasing her past. It's, like, re-releasing it so that... I saw a lot of people being like, well, now other people are going to listen to the old one because they want to hear the original version. Like, it's different. It's not, like, the same... Like, the intention was to just, like, re-record so that it's exactly the same so people choose hers instead. You know what I'm saying?
Brooke says... the same thing I thought. I almost thought she would retire the whole song like Hayley Williams did with Misery Business.
I would have been really sad.
Hayley Williams did that?
Well, she brought it back now because, like, it's kind of like reclaiming that, like, we were young and, like, it was a product of, like, the time. And now it's kind of funny because we know that it's slut shaming, but that doesn't mean that the song is, like, not something that she was feeling at the time and going through and everything. I feel like... you grow, you live, and you learn. But, like, I fucking love that song. I'm in the business of misery. Let's take it from the top. Like, it's so fun to sing. And I was so sad when I heard that she wasn't singing it anymore. Because you can easily, like, do a quick disclaimer before you sing it and be like, yo, I wrote this when I was young and mad and dumb. And, like, not dealing with it the right way. But now she sings it again. And I'm glad that they've kept it because my favorite song on the album was Better Than Revenge. Like, it was so fun to sing.
It is a fun song to sing. I like Enchanted. That's my fave.
I love that one too. I love all of them. What was your favorite of the vault? I need to know your favorite vault tracks.
My favorite vault is When Emma Falls in Love.
I love When Emma Falls in Love. What about you, Naomi? Oh, go ahead.
No, I just, it's so cute. I don't know if this is controversial, but I don't love all the new, this re-release isn't as, I think, impactful for me as, like, maybe Red was, because I don't know. I feel like I used to love Speak Now, and I'm like, I like it, but it wasn't as great as like Red being re-released, in my opinion.
Are you just like bored of stuff being re-released, or did you
No,
not like the vault
I
songs?
like it. I just like I'm not like as obsessed. And I don't love all of like I'm not obsessed with all the new songs. Like I literally think my favorite song is When Emma Falls in Love. And then I think Timeless was that is that the last song?
That's the last song. Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. But I'm not like obsessed with them.
All right. What about you, Naomi?
Christine does not agree with me.
Those are literally my favorite ones too, is Emma Falls in Love and Timeless. But I will say, like, when Red came out and it was re-released, all of the vault tracks I could not vibe with, and I just had to listen to them over and over, and now some of those are like my faves. So I hope that happens with these ones, but I do agree that like Red vault tracks better than these ones as of right now.
I think I'm just so used to also Taylor's new vibe, and that going back, even though like Speak Now
This is a
was
country album. Yeah.
yeah, it was it was the shift in between like the next step to 1989 Red was sorry, and then that I just am not. It's very nostalgic, I guess, because I was in high school listening to this, and I loved her then. But now I'm just so in love with all of her new stuff that it's like, oh, okay, we're taking a step back and we're going back to like her roots, and those songs, in and of themselves, are such like perfect little pieces of Taylor within that era, and like we can appreciate it now. And I'm so it's just trying to like wrap my head around it, and like the the yo-yo effect, I guess, of it.
Yeah.
I agree, because I think when which one was it that came out? Reputation came out. I was waiting for the slower songs or like the more country, so that's why I loved Call It What You Want. And then when Folklore came out and Evermore, I was like expecting more of like the fast songs because of Reputation. So that's why I like Gold Rush. And then Midnight's comes out and it's like, wait, it's just a lot. Like she just switches around a lot. So
well, also I think just okay, sorry, I can't say it right now.
Juxtaposition. There you go.
Yes. Folklore, because I've been listening to just that album recently because I just wanted to go through all the songs and listen to all the stories again, and all of those are just so beautiful and like my favorite things ever, and it's very similar to the Speak Now vibe ish,
Very
kind
cohesive.
of.
Yeah.
And it's just like she's just grown so much, and you can just see it, and that's why I like Timeless, because I can hear the story and I can feel it.
I love this album so much, and I love that all of these songs are so in tune with the same vibe of like the headspace of this album. Like this album is like wanting so badly to have your love story happen, and it just like projecting all of these beautiful endings to the beginnings of this relationship, and none of them coming to fruition, like everything crumbling in a way that she didn't like. All of her hopes and dreams like weren't obviously expecting, and it's so romantic. So I mean, Electric Touch I think is really fun. That's the one with Fall Out Boy. That's the one I've like listened to the least, but I still liked it. I liked the like you can fill this ghost town up with love line, and I kind of picture this going through like the John Mayer storyline a little bit. And then When Emma Falls in Love is so sweet, and it's one of like it's like classic like Taylor Swift story in a song about Emma, and everyone is saying it's about Emma Stone, and I love just picturing her falling in love with Andrew Garfield while I listen to the song. It's so sweet. And it's like when Emma falls in love, she disappears, and we all laugh because of like how she's done it every time she falls in love, and she closes all the doors. It kind of reminds me of like when she fell in love with Joe, like she was kind of like taking something out of Emma's book and like shutting herself off from the world when she's falling in love. And then she talks about how she doesn't leave until she absolutely has to. And that also feels like time to go. And, you know, the song she just released, You're Losing Me. Like, I've been, you know, trying over and over again not to leave, but I think it might be time. So it all kind of ties back into like her current work too, and her current mindset, because she just experienced for like, I think the first time, like the relationship she thought was going to be and felt like it was the be all end all relationship, and it all fell apart like 6 years in, which is devastating. And then Castles Crumbling feels very much like Reputation. This is the one with Hayley Williams. Really have listened to this one like 10,000 times. And I've heard speculation that she wrote this after the VMAs, because I don't know if y'all have heard her story, but at the first she thought that everyone was booing her. Like they thought that they all thought she shouldn't have won. And she went home like feeling really, really self-conscious and shitty about it. Yeah, Castles Crumbling hits hard for me like every time. I could just like want to belt it out with her. Amy said it hit hard for her. And then Foolish One. Oh, I just feel so seen by that song. It's literally like that feeling you get when you're dating someone. You're like, oh my God, this is going to be great. Like they've made mistakes in the past, but like it's going to be better with me. And like she is like the voice in her head being like, you're not the exception. Like it's not going to change. Their pattern is going to continue. Cheyenne said Foolish One had her crying the whole way through. Yes, I love the Foolish One. And then we have I Can See You, of course. Were you guys like when you first heard I Can See You like, oh, like I can see you and me against the wall? I can see your jacket on the floor?
I don't know. You know what I'm thinking right now as you're going through this is that I haven't really taken the time to actually fully listen and know the songs. So the one that I listen to the most is the Emma Falls in Love, but the I Can See You, I woke up singing that, but I haven't really like thought through the lyrics yet.
Yeah. What about you,
It's
Naomi?
too fresh.
Yeah.
For I Can See, I was surprised that I see that supposedly her mom maybe didn't want this on the album, but like
yes, Andrea.
what was the song that she Better Than Revenge was okay?
Well, you know, that's how we just like that's how we saw the world back then too. Like sex was so scandalous, but like woman hating was just part of like the zeitgeist at the time. Like we were not aware of it, and now we're like so clear on it. Like, ew, what were we thinking?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Andrea, like her mom had a lot more say, and her dad had a lot more say in like her brand, and they wanted everything to be like more family friendly. And so there's rumors that like she didn't want that on the album. And I could see like just in general, like I think Taylor also was like kind of being more like less scandalous. She didn't talk about drinking.
Yeah.
She didn't talk about sex. Like the first time she talked about that was in Reputation, and we were like, oh my God, Taylor drinks, Taylor curses, Taylor has sex dreams. Oh shit.
Yeah. I feel like such a kinship to that, because I was in that same mode, and I didn't cuss, or I didn't do any of that. I didn't talk about any of that stuff. And so I can totally see her younger self being like, no, I don't want this out there. And now she's like, "Meh, I don't care anymore. Who cares?"
Well, she's like, I'm a fucking adult. I'm gonna say things about sex. But yeah, no, I could totally relate to that too. And I feel like it's still in me. Like just being raised in like a religious household where like people didn't talk about sex or like any of that stuff. It feels so like scandalous just to say anything out loud for so long. And now when I'm writing like my rom-com books and I'm doing these sexy scenes, I'm always like, when I read them back to myself, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have these like moments where I can't write it. So like, I can't believe I'm writing this out loud.
Oh my gosh.
Can I talk about kissing in detail? No. And I bet that voice was so loud at that time. So like she wrote the song and then like read it back to herself and was like, I can't say I can see you and me up against a wall. Like I'm gonna die. So yeah, definitely. I think it was not just her parents. I think it was probably her like worrying a lot about like her image at the time, because you don't want to like ruin it and lose your value in the face of everyone, because that's how she values herself. Just like she talks about all the time with like castles crumbling.
Cheyenne says, can we do, the two of us, do another Taylor episode after you girls go to your show? I have so much to say about this in relation to the show.
Yes.
Yeah. It's so funny because there's so many people around me who just constantly talk about Taylor's show, and I was like, don't stop. Everyone is so impressed about how like we have just stayed away from. I'm so out of the loop. Like everything is blocked. Taylor is a stranger to me right now.
My like show stuff, I let it just like float over me, you know, like I focus on the stuff that's individual to each show. Like when I see like Taylor Lautner came to the show, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch that clip. But like all I really see are the clips with like the surprise songs, because that's different every show. So I know the dresses that she wears for those surprise songs. But my neighbor the other day, she was trying to tell my other neighbor how many songs from Speak Now are in the show. I'm like, and she's like, I'm gonna tell him, so you better walk ahead of us. I was like, why can't you just text him?
I know. And Taya's like, the other day, she's like, I'm going to say something about the show, but it's not really that spoilery. It's just a thought that I have. I was like, no.
Please no.
Naomi over here has gone like twice.
I went 2 nights in a row, and it was the best time of my life. Please record your reactions for surprise songs. You will know when it's happening.
Okay. All right, I just want to finish this up now. I think I went through every song except for Timeless. Now, Timeless really gets me because I feel like it's about Joe Jonas, and it makes it even sadder because he like totally wasn't on the same page. But the fact that she's like projecting that we're gonna grow old together and stuff, and it's gonna be beautiful, and we were timeless, is just like, it just like rips your heart out knowing how that ended and the whole story there. Because even if it's not about him, like it's about one of these other people she dated at the time, it's just like we all have that daydream when you're dating someone you really like. And to hear it like put into words and said out loud makes it really real and vulnerable. And I just hope that she finds that with somebody again. All right.
What is this?
Okay. So I don't know if y'all saw, but Taylor Swift's 4th of July party.
What?
Came back.
I want to see
into the fold. Yeah. No, Elizabeth, I'm going to vlog the concert experience. Like I'm totally doing a vlog. I'm very excited. I've been ready to do it since the first time I was supposed to go. So that will happen. But okay. So, she posted her 4th of July pics, and Selena Gomez was there, and so was Haim, and a couple other women, and she hasn't posted about her 4th of July party for 7 years, every year that she was with Joe.
Oh, shit.
So, she's bejeweled. Also, if you missed it, she posted a picture with Taylor Lautner, his wife, and herself reenacting the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other, and it was
epic.
Just everything.
The best thing.
Everything. Okay, so Natasha, do you want to give us this news here?
It Ends With Us is releasing on February 9th, 2024. But they did have to stop production because of the writer's strike.
The writer's strike.
Which is still fucking ongoing.
Shots is saying the 4th of July party was giving 1989, and it was.
Oh yeah.
She's like, she's back in a 1989 state of mind, you know? She's single, she's hanging with friends, she's doing what she wants, she's dating, like. Now Taylor and I are back on the same page of life. Because I fell into my 1989 era last year, and I'm like, oh, she's back with me. Because we were a little out of sorts for a year, but usually we're on the same life sections. All right, Naomi, what news do you have for us?
I just saw this pop up on my Instagram a lot. You were talking about Selena Gomez, and I love Selena Gomez, by the way. And anytime there are rumors about her dating anyone, I just want her to be happy.
know.
And supposedly, I don't know how I feel about it, but supposedly she's dating or seeing, I don't know, Jeremy Allen White, who is the main guy in The Bear, and he's also in Shameless. But he just got he's in the middle of divorce situation, so I don't know how I feel about that.
What situation?
I think his wife asked for a divorce, and it was super random to him. He was kind of blindsided by it.
Shit. So they're
She's
separated.
also she's an actress, and they have 2 kids. So it's a weird situation, but I mean, if she's happy, yeah.
Yeah. If she's happy, she's happy.
Yeah.
It's a bit messy.
Okay, y'all, we're going to move into what right now? Natasha, what are you reading right now?
I finished Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, and it was super cute. This is the last book in her science trilogy. And it wasn't as good as Love Hypothesis, in my opinion, but it was honestly, she just writes everything that I can relate to, and I love her writing so much. And it was one of those books where I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I couldn't wait to read it. I was like, I have to go be an adult now. When I would wake up in the morning, I was like, just let me read for 30 minutes.
That's the best feeling.
It is. Yeah, so that book is really good if you guys are looking for a cute rom-com. I didn't love the ending. I thought we could have had more, but yeah.
All right. What about you, Naomi?
I actually just finished this morning The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I don't know if you guys have ever read any Riley Sager.
But I've heard really good things.
This is his best one, I will say. I've read everything by Riley Sager, and I have them all kind of ranked, and now this one is top number 1.
So maybe
it's
I should
really
start
good.
with that one.
Yeah,
Was
really
that
good.
that small thin book you were talking about on the hangout session?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No.
I wasn't at the
remember that.
last hangout sesh, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember that. But Riley Sager, everyone is always recommending me one Riley Sager book or another. And then someone was like, all Riley Sager books are the same. And then I haven't read one yet.
You were talking about this on Instagram, and you were like, what the heck? This was really good. Right? Was that the one?
The Only One Left?
Yeah.
I don't think I posted about it, but
What? There was
I
something
posted
you
about
read.
another horror.
Yeah.
Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. I read that, and that one was confusing. It was a trip, but I liked it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I've been into horror a lot recently, so I just read The Only One Left, and then I'm currently reading This Wretched Valley by Jenny
Wait, is
Kiefer.
it horror or a thriller?
So The Only One Left is mystery thriller, I will say. This Wretched Valley is a horror, and then that one that I just talked about, Looking Glass Sound, is also horror.
Okay.
But this one, The Only One Left, is gothic.
Okay.
Ooh.
Interesting.
It's good.
I am in one of those reading slumps where I've started a million books, but I haven't gotten deeply entrenched in one enough to just want to read it all the time, which it's so frustrating. I think my brain is just really scattered, so I haven't been able to focus on one or the other. I started Rachel Lynn Silliman's new book, Business or Pleasure, which I know I'm gonna like, but I only read the first chapter. I started Alexandra Bracken's new book, Silver in the Bone, which I know I'm probably gonna like too, and it feels very like The Witcher in the first chapter. Just the fantasy element just feels really witchery so far, and I think I'm gonna like that too. But I was like, I don't know if I want to do a fantasy right now. And then Georgie All the Way, I've been reading 5 pages in the shower every night for a month. That's when I'm furthest in, and I'm getting more invested in that. But the love story, no love story has come front and center yet to really invest me. And I started the Red Rising audiobook again. and I need to like get past the beginning. It's the same sort of thing where it's like setting up the world, and I'm just like keep rewinding because I'm like, did I miss a detail that's important?
If you did, just let me know and I will tell you. But honestly,
Yeah,
you probably you didn't. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully one pulls me soon. I think there's even another one that I'm forgetting because I had like 6. I've got a lot. Oh yeah, Robin Schneider's book, The Future King. I also started that, which is also a fantasy, which I'm also having the same thing where I'm like, am I forgetting any details from last book? Ugh. So, all right, what are you watching this week? TV shows.
Naomi, you go.
I am watching Virgin River on Netflix, season 4. It's so good.
My Nana loves that show.
It's so good. I'm like into the very wholesome Netflix TV shows, small town vibes. This one's so good. I'm on season 4, and usually I love Sweet Magnolias too, but that one's on I think the next season comes out like next month or something, and then I'm on the last season of Succession as well.
Nice. Natasha.
I watched The Curious Case of Natalia Grace on Max, and it's a documentary series about a little person who was an adult when this family adopted her. And it's
is this the orphan girl?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It's so twisty turny, and these people in the documentary series are they're such characters. It's on like it's hilarious at points because the adopted father is a character, and I cannot. Anyways, it's great. You guys should all watch it, and it's definitely not what you think.
I think it's gonna scare the shit out of me, like the orphan
It's not
did.
it's not scary at all. It's not scary at all.
She's not a murderer.
So Nicole says, repeat the name of the show. It's The Curious Case of Natalia Grace.
But it's a documentary, right?
It's a 7-episode miniseries, docuseries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in The Orphan, like, she kills them and she like is really creepy.
That it's not taken from like the Orphan is not a retelling of this story. It just so happened that this all happened at like
it kind of was inspired by that or something.
I think so. And I'm not sure though, because it didn't happen until like 2014 or something.
Okay.
And then I watched The Bear season 2. I didn't watch season 1 because it didn't hold my interest. And then Alex started watching season 2, and you don't really need to watch season 1. And I was watching just season 2 with him, and I rewatched the whole thing. It was amazing, and I love it.
All right, I gotta watch that one. Amy says she just finished Never Have I Ever based on your recommendation. Loved it. I'm so glad and I've been rewatching Never Have I Ever, the entire series. I'm almost done with a rewatch of the entire thing because I had a really anxious last week and I just needed like to rewatch a cozy show that was funny, and I've loved it all over again. Did you watch any movies? Natasha?
I saw Barbie.
Of course. All
last
right.
night.
All right. Naomi, what did you?
My best friend has...
Can I just say, like, do not look up spoilers. Do not look. Stop watching trailers. Stop watching TV spots. Just go into this movie unaware.
Yes,
it's the best.
Yep. Knew it was gonna be like that. Sophia says, Natasha, you look so beautiful yesterday.
Oh, thank you.
Your dress looked amazing.
Thank you.
What did you watch, Naomi?
I watched for the first time Encanto recently. My best friend has a 2-year-old, and she's obsessed with that movie. That's like her hyperfixation movie right now. And then I went to the movies and I saw The Little Mermaid finally, and I loved it. Yeah. I love Halle Bailey. She's amazing. I love her.
I think The Little Mermaid is my favorite movie this year.
I had no idea that Javier Bardem was the dad.
Yeah. What were your thoughts?
Got there. He was fine. I mean, I wasn't expecting him. Like, I was like, what? I just always remember him on the Eat, Pray, Love movie with Julia Roberts, and I was just like, whoa.
Whoa. Christine, what did you watch?
I watched Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, based on the
Is it
Judy Blume
free or
novel.
did you buy it?
I paid $5.99 to rent it on Amazon, and it was so good. I loved it so much. I wasn't prepared for the puberty PTSD. Like, because it's immediately, like, right at the beginning when she meets this new friend, she's like, oh, you're so flat. And I was like, oh, it's been so long since I've heard someone say that to me. Like, because, of course, like, I was very flat-chested for a long time, and I'm still, like, pretty, you know, small. And, like, it used to make me feel like such a piece of shit. And so, like, hearing it just, like, triggered me. I was like, oh, she's mean! I hate her! Like, I felt so bad for our lead. But, like, it's that period of middle school, like, all those, like, kind of cringe things that like girls say, but it's like her going through the process of dealing with it and learning about her body, and her mom just moved them from New York to New Jersey, and it's really, really beautiful. The parents, like, her dad is Jewish and her mom is Christian, and they didn't raise her with any religion. They said that, like, you can choose when you're old enough, and it's starting to become a thing when people ask her about it. She doesn't know, so she decides, like, maybe it's time to try to figure out, like, what religion I want to be a part of. And they do a really beautiful job with it, and I just had so many emotions. It was really cute, and it takes place in 1970. So I was like, my mom was like a few years younger than this lead girlie. And I asked her about it, and she was like, yeah, that book was so popular when I was in school. Yeah. Everyone was reading it.
My mom gave me, oh, fuck. What is the book called?
The other one.
She gave me, what?
Right?
What?
Yeah, the other book. I can't remember.
The other one, and it takes place during high school.
Yeah.
And she read that when she was her age, and because it was in the 70s, and it aged okay enough, but like I think there was some lack of like technology was interesting. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called either. I knew what it was, and I'm blanking right now. But yeah, it's the same sort of like being really open about your body sort of a thing. So you learn about
Forever.
all this. Forever, yes.
It was a sex book. My first one.
And this one is like, you know, when like people are first getting boobs and getting their period, and like what your period is, and what's a pad, and like buying pads for the first time at the store. Like all these moments that like send you right back to that time. You're like, oh.
Amy says my daycare teacher read that book to my 4th grade class, and it was mixed company and so awkward.
Oh my God. I also watched Love Again, which is with Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Sam Heughan, and it's this rom-com, I'm like quotations rom-com because it wasn't funny, but it was super melodramatic, and I was like editing the script the whole time. Like, why would they do this and then this? And like, I don't know where all the money went in this movie. I think it just all went to Celine Dion. Celine Dion's in this movie, as are her songs. And the movie is just like so not funny, and the writing is so surface level, and it's just like, I had fun. So this is what I watched with my neighbors the night that I Could See You came out, and we had fun like making fun of the movie. But the whole time, like, oh, why did they sign on to this? And I was like, oh, probably because Celine Dion was signed on to it. It's like the least attractive I've ever thought Sam Heughan was, and it's just because his character is like he doesn't talk for like the first half of the movie. It's like The Little Mermaid. He like falls in love. So the movie is this woman's boyfriend that she's in love with, that she thinks she's going to get engaged to, in the first 5 minutes, we see them like talking, like, oh, I love you, babe. And then he gets hit by a car. But we don't see him get hit by a car. We just see like slow motion, her looking over in that direction. And like you hear the noises. And it's so melodramatic that it's not even sad because we don't even know him. And we don't really know their relationship. And, then we skip ahead 2 years and she starts texting his phone with like, I miss you. And like, I feel like this and I feel like that. The trailer is so good. Like that's the best part of the movie. So you should just like watch the trailer and have fun with that.
Christine, no.
Like, because I was like, wow, that's a great trailer. I need to watch this movie. And I watched the movie and I'm so disappointed. So she's texting him and he's just like, I feel like I'm falling in love with this woman. Because so he gets a work phone and the work phone is her boyfriend's old number. So he's getting these texts instead of her boyfriend's phone. And he's not saying anything to her. Like I thought he was going to be interacting with her like a ghost or like just like someone responding to these texts. But he's not. And it's just like the most passive movie. Like nothing's happening. And he's not talking to her until the halfway point where like they meet. And it's just like, it wasn't anything great at all. So don't waste your money. Watch it when it's free.
I remember Sam Heughan was attached to My Oxford Year.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I would much rather see him in that.
Yes. I felt like he wasn't acting. And then he said like one line that sounded like Jamie Fraser. And I was like, he finally acted.
So good.
Once they started talking like on dates and stuff, I liked him again because I've never seen Sam Heughan play this like nerdy, socially awkward character. And it was really funny seeing him like be weird. Like he would like say like, oh, do you eat? And she's like, yeah, I eat. And he's like, well, do you want to eat? Like, it was such a stupid conversation. It was funny watching it come out of like this handsome man, you know? So yeah, that's what I watched this week. All right. Well, we're going to move on to our main discussion, but before we do, I want to quickly take a second. We want to take a second and thank all of y'all out there listening. We could not do the podcast without your support. Mm-hmm. If you're not following us on your favorite podcast app for free yet, we would love it if you do so. It's really easy. Like click the follow button, or you can subscribe for free on YouTube if you're watching the visual version. Hello, we're at youtube.com/@thoseforkingfangirls, and you can subscribe for free so you never miss an episode. If you're watching the visual version, we'd really appreciate if you hit the like button, if you leave a comment. Those little things do a lot to support the show and help new people find the show. Leaving a review on Apple Podcasts if you like the show really makes a big difference for us. So thank you so much if you take the time to do that. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but if you have a second, we'd really appreciate it. And if you want to support the show in a bigger way, we have a Patreon.
Yay!
And our Team Polis Bananas tier is what Nahomy is a part of. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And when you're on that tier, you get to sign up if you want. You don't have to, no pressure. But like if you want to be a guest on the show, we have a form, and we bring on one of our Team Polis Bananas listeners every month. We've got other tiers. We've got at our $5 Team Jacob tier, we do an extra half-an-hour show after every single show called Fangirl Tea Time. And we go into more personal, in-depth stories. So today, Natasha's going to be telling us all about her Barbie premiere experience on Fangirl Tea Time.
Don't want to miss this.
Don't want to miss it. So it's going to be some fun stories today. And when you do sign up for Team Jacob, you get all of our XL episodes. And the last half an hour of every episode is new content. It's a Fangirl Tea Time episode. So you get access to 33 of those if you become a patron now. So it's a lot of content, y'all. Thank you so much. If you're already a patron, we appreciate you so, so much. And thank you for listening and supporting the show in any way you can. We are so grateful.
Love you.
Love you. All right. Today, we are having some fun. The rights to the Acotar series have been acquired for a TV show. We know this much. Do we know what company? It's not Hulu anymore, is it?
No, it's Hulu.
It is Hulu?
Didn't we talk about this?
We did, but I don't know if it had changed hands.
Well, we don't know yet because apparently she moved back from LA to New York. She posted on her feed that she was out in LA and now she's moving back to the East Coast, and everyone's like, uh-oh, did something like go bad with the TV show? Because she moved out like closer to LA so that she could be more involved. So I don't know if the rights have reverted back to her, and now I don't know.
I don't know. Interesting. So she was living out here in a permanent residence, you're saying?
Yes.
Huh. All
yeah,
right.
because she posted about moving back.
Okay, interesting. Well, for today, we are going to be the casting directors of the show, all right? And so we are going to be casting everyone for the core cast. We're going to be asking y'all in the chat to let us know after we present all of our options, who of those options you think are the top 3 nominees. And then we'll do a final casting at the end of our whole casting call here today. Okay, we'll have callbacks and then do a final vote on who gets casted in our version of the Acotar series. All right. So, Natasha, do you want to kick us off with who do you want to cast? Who are you presenting today as your options for Feyre, and why do you think that they're the best for the role?
Okay, I just have to say that my fan castings are everyone's who I used to think were the characters are now old, because it's been about
I moved mine too.
8 years, and so I really had to go searching for new people.
Yep.
So I think, okay, so there's Abigail Cohen, who is from the Winx series, and she was also in the Redeeming Love movie, and I think she's very Faye-like, and I have enjoyed her acting thus far, so I think she would be a good option. I put Anya Taylor-Joy here. I saw her in real life yesterday, and she could definitely be Feyre. And then, okay, my number one choice right now is Eloise Webb. No one knows who this person is if you haven't watched Sanditon. So Sanditon is a Jane Austen 3-season series, and she plays. She was also in the Cinderella movie. She played like the young Cinderella. But she is just she's so tall and graceful, and she's got her British accent, and I think she would be a really great option for Feyre. I honestly, and just a disclaimer, anyone that we say here, like, this is who, like, we think. We're not trying to be casting directors. This is just like who we think in our heads.
This is just for fun.
For funsies. Also, I think everyone in the show should just be unknowns.
Oh, I feel like we need like a couple kind of known people.
Of course. A couple like known people in like the older roles. But as far as like, maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't really, I want like a new Rhysand.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends. Because if they get someone really good, I would love that. That we know, like, that's fine. But as long as they're good at the role. All right, Nahomy, who are you presenting for Feyre today?
For Feyre, I have Antonia Gentry. So she plays Ginny in Ginny and Georgia. I think that's like the only thing that she's ever been on Netflix. That's like one of her first big roles. I think she had one minor role before that, but I think she's just so pretty, and I think season 2 of Ginny and Georgia, she did a lot of emotional scenes and stuff, and I just think she would do really well in that role. And then I had like who I imagined while I was reading the book, which was Elle Fanning. If you don't know Elle Fanning, she was in Maleficent.
Great.
Oh, great.
Yes, the great. And she's who I pictured when I read Acotar a long time ago, because I was obsessed with her. So those are my picks for Feyre.
So many people have her as what's her face? Elaine. Because she's so like
soft looking.
Well, I think like 6 years ago, people like saw her as like this frail type of person. I don't know if that's a good word but she was Sleeping Beauty,
she's
delicate.
But now that
delicate, and now that she's in the great, like, oh my gosh, this woman is fearless. I love her. I think she would be a great Feyre.
Yeah. All right. For my Feyre, I'm presenting Haley Steinfeld, which I think we all know Haley Steinfeld. You know, she was in Hawkeye, she was in Dickinson, and she's a spectacular actress.
Yes.
She's badass AF, and I think that she really can capture the air of Feyre in a really, like, she has the softness and she has the survival, like, instinct. You know, she's funny. She has everything. She's a great actress, and that's what we want playing Feyre. Someone who's, like, can do all this without coming off in any way cheesy or, you know, not believable. I feel like these fantasy shows, especially, we need people who have, like, such a wide acting range that so people take it seriously right off the bat. Like Game of Thrones, like, those actors are masters of, you know, every sort of emotion. Like, they could do comedy, they could do intensity, and I feel like she really can do all of that really well. And then my second person I'm presenting is Zendaya, because I feel like she is so regal and so beautiful and so talented, and she really has, like, she could be such a beautiful fae, and I would love to see her as Feyre. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good choices here. People in the chat, who are you feeling for Feyre of these choices? Who should we move to callbacks?
Also, if you have thoughts and, like, someone that you've been thinking about, like, feel free to share.
Throw them out. While you're doing that, all right. Let's get our choices for Tamlin. Naomi, you want to start us off for Tamlin? Who would you cast as
Sure.
Lord of the Spring Court.
I know the second one, everyone's gonna laugh at me. The first person I have, I don't know how to say his first name, so if you guys do, let me know. Dacre Montgomery. He played Billy in Stranger Things. Right, that's his name?
Yes.
So
I had him down too, but I saw you put him.
I
was like, okay,
saw that earlier.
I'll change it.
Yeah, so I have for Mr. Tamlin, Dacre Montgomery. Yeah, he played Billy. I feel like he played, like, both good and bad guy in Stranger Things pretty well. So I feel like he would play, like, with that line pretty well as Tamlin, to get people to love him season 1, and then season 2 things change. And then the second person I have is Joe Alwyn.
I love Joe. I love this. Yeah.
This is great.
I saw him, I think it was called The Last Letter from Your Lover, some random movie he was in. I think it was with oh my gosh, Shailene Woodley. And he plays, like, this really mean ex-husband, and I just picture that in my head as, like, Tamlin. And I just feel like him with, like, long hair and, like, a scruffy beard, like, I just it's Tamlin vibes. I don't know.
I could see him.
Joe, right?
For sure. When I saw you put that down, I was like, that's perfect.
Yeah. You get all my votes. Christine, what about you?
Okay, so for Tamlin, you know, I've been picturing Chris Hemsworth, like, since Natasha said that Chris Hemsworth was her Tamlin, and I was like, that's a perfect Tamlin. He is older, but he, like, really captures the ferocity of spirit and the gruffness, that I feel when I read Tamlin, and I could really see him pulling off that, like, you think he's charming even though he's being a dick because he's, like, so handsome and charismatic, just like Thor in movie 1. Like, he could be so annoying, but, like, we like him because he's, like, handsome, and he's like, oh, I'm a fish out of water, I don't understand things. But, like, he learns to be empathetic as we go along through the series, you know, Thor, so we love him. But in that first movie, he's quite annoying at times, pompous, and a pain in my ass. And so I put him down because I, like, couldn't not. Right. But then someone younger that I think could pull it off and would be fun is Noah Centino from the To All the Boys I Loved Before. Yeah, I just, like, I feel like he kind of
He's
looks
too
like a
Gen
douche
Z,
at
in my
times.
opinion.
But
Like-
that's the thing. By the time they make this, he's probably going to be older. So I don't know. I feel like I would love to give him a chance and see what he does with it, because I feel like these actors are getting older and can like stretch their chops and do things that are kind of different.
Well, what I meant to say is his attitude is too Gen Z. I don't
but
know.
he's an actor. What do you mean?
But he acts the same in everything that he does.
He's only done stupid Netflix movies. That's all the boys I loved before. So
There's
you
a
gotta give him
reason why he
chance.
does those movies only.
I think he was signed in to do a bunch of movies with
No,
them,
he
'cause
also
they
did
do
the stupid
contracts like
Shazam
that.
movie. Not Shazam, sorry. Black Adam movie. And he was terrible in that too.
All right. Well, he's really cute in the To All the Boys I Loved Before, and I think he's still growing. all I'll
Also,
say.
almost 8 years ago.
Okay. You know who also did a bunch of bad movies? Brad Pitt. But look at him now.
Okay.
All right. Who do you have, Natasha?
Okay, I'm going to
For
switch these.
Tamlin.
I put Reggae Jean Page. Now, a lot of people think he would probably be good for Resand, but I think he's so pompous, and I don't think he's as good as actor as some of the other people I put down, and I don't want to save him for Resand. But yeah, I think he's pompous enough, and if you saw him in Dungeons and Dragons, like, I mean, he was great in that, but I think mixed with his performance in Bridgerton, I think he would make a great annoying
I think you would
Tamlin.
make. I could see that. I could see him as Tamlin for sure.
And then I put Will Poulter down because Will has done a lot of. He usually plays the villain in a lot of
I
things.
can see him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he just played, like a himbo in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he got
Well-
so beefy.
Yeah.
And
Did
I'm
you
like,
see him? Wait, did you see him in We Are the Millers? Because he plays like a big nerd, and it's
Yeah.
so funny. He's
Yeah.
great at comedy.
oh yeah. Oh wait, that's a huge spoiler, Sophia. Be quiet. So, I think he would be. I think he'd be great. He would be so annoying and like just so like also mean. He could also be Lucian, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I could see that too. All right, you know what? I want to rewind up to each of our things, and we have to vote on who of each of our sections is going to the next round. Okay.
Okay.
So who do you guys think of my two, Haley or Zendaya? Who goes to the next round?
Haley.
Ooh.
All right, tiebreaker chat. Haley or Zendaya? Who goes to the next round for Feyre, darling, of my presentation of my actors here? Haley, Zendaya. Wow,
2
Haley.
and 2.
Okay,
Ooh.
Zendaya.
Oh,
Oh, my
Zendaya.
God.
Oh,
Zendaya. Okay, Zendaya
Okay.
wins.
Zendaya wins. Zendaya's going to the next round. Wait, but I want to vote for Haley. All right, whatever. Zendaya. Zendaya's moving to our next round. Natasha's. Okay,
Okay.
so we've got.
We got
Read 'em
Eloise
out.
Webb, the Sanditon girl, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Abigail Cohen.
Okay, I'm voting Anya Taylor-Joy. What are you voting, Naomi?
Same.
Okay, we're just gonna say she goes because we have time constraints here. All right, Naomi, who are you presenting?
Antonia Gentry and Elle Fanning.
I'm gonna say Elle because I don't know Antonia.
I don't know Antonio either, so I'm going to say Elle.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we've got Zendaya, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Elle Fanning moving to the next casting call for Feyre. Tamlin, who are you guys voting for? I'm sure you're voting for Chris Hemsworth. Of my
Hemsworth.
two choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Natasha's two choices.
Is Reggae John Page and Will Poulter.
Okay. I am gonna say Reggae Jean Page.
Well, I want to say Will.
All right. We go to the chat.
Sophia says Will, so we got 2 for Will.
Okay.
Reggae, 2 for Reggae. Will, 3 for Will.
Oh,
3 for
Reggae.
Reggae.
Oh my God.
4
Okay.
for Reggae.
All right, Reggae's getting the part. He's moving on. All right, Naomi. You want to read your choices one more time?
We got Dacre. I keep forgetting.
From
Montgomery.
Spain. Stranger Things, Billy.
Yes. And Joe Alwyn.
Joe Alwyn.
Joe.
I'm saying Joe. All right. Joe is moving on. Okay.
I'm moving
We're
Will down
going-
to Lucian.
We're going to progress to Rysand, okay? We've got the big kahuna of casting here. I feel like he makes or breaks the show, honestly. So let's start. Should I start this round since I haven't started one yet here?
Yes.
I will present my people. So I'm sorry, I have 3. Okay. So I wanted to give someone younger the chance to do this, but like not too young. I feel like you need some age. He needs to be like at least 30. And I'd really love to see like Dylan O'Brien's take on this character. I know he doesn't fit as well as the other 2 I'm going to present, but I think he could do it. And I think he'd bring a lot of humor. And I think Rysand needs that like smirky humor to be at the forefront of the actor. Like the actor needs to be able to do that well and to really pull off Rysand because he's really funny and like really smirky, and I don't like the way the audiobook is presenting him because he was much better in my head. He's really Ian Smolderholder, but Ian Smolderholder is too old to be Rysand now. Like that was my first choice and he can't do it. Okay, my second choice I'm presenting is Robbie Amell. I don't know if you saw the Duff, but he is so smirky and so good at humor and also ripped. So I feel like I would love to see his take on it. And then we have Tyler Hoechlin, who is like, he has the look so hard. Like he is what I pictured the look of Rysand to be. And while I don't think he's as good of an actor.
Not as good as an actor, unfortunately.
Yeah. Dylan's a great actor. So I really like, and Robbie is really good. Tyler is on the line.
I do have to say that Robbie Amell is in season 3 of The Witcher, and he's a fae in there, and it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good.
Doesn't look good.
But is it just like shitty effects because The Witcher's like iffy on all of their
No, he
fae?
has the little pointy ears, but he also lowered his voice like Henry did, and it doesn't make sense.
Oh no. Okay, we'll delete him. It's between Dylan O'Brien and Tyler Hoechlin now. Oh, Shots!
How'd she get in here?
Because Shots has a bad link. She has a link to be in here by accident. And I think she keeps using it by accident, right? I didn't post that link again, did I? I feel like I didn't. Brooke says, I think it would be hilarious, though, if Rysand was younger looking than the other High Lords because it would emphasize the discomfort they have with how much more powerful he is than them. I like that because he is really old, but he might not look old. But I don't think he can be like early 20s. I feel like there's some weight to him like that needs to be a little older. I don't know. All right, Naomi, hit us with yours.
So my first choice, I have Reggae John Page that we just talked about. So he's the Duke in Bridgerton. And then my second choice is Ian Somerhalder because when I first read the book, Tamlin was Paul Wesley, Ian Somerhalder was Reese. That was that.
I love it.
Oh my
That's how it was. So those are my options. I know that like age-wise and stuff, like Ian's way too old, but still.
I know. He's so perfect for it.
I
He's
know.
so perfect for it.
I just hope
All
there's
right.
another one that comes on. Okay, so a big popular one that I do agree with is Thomas Doherty. He is from The Invitation, and he plays a vampire. He plays the main Dracula, and honestly, like he's very similar to Ian. I think in that way, where he's got that sly smile. I think he's incredible. Also, I picked Charles Melton. He is in Riverdale. He used to date. Veronica, the main girl, Camilla.
Oh,
Cami
this
Mendes.
guy. He's so handsome, but
He's
like
so
as an
handsome.
actor, I've
don't
never
think he's
been
very
like,
good.
wowed by him.
Okay, well, honestly, I just put him down because I'm just trying to get to Henry Cavill. Okay, so he's been number one. He is always in my head for any honestly character that is tall, dark, and handsome. Henry will always be Rysand to me, and I know he's old, but still, he's fucking hot. Okay.
The thing is, I feel like Henry has the look, but I don't think he has enough like comedic snark. Like he has really like he has that specific Witcher humor, that like grump humor. But Rysand is more of like a smart ass.
I think he can be a smart ass.
I mean, he probably might be able to, but I've never seen him do it.
He was kind of a smart ass in
The Tudors?
No, in Mission Impossible, then also in the one with Army Hammer, the spy movie,
The Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah, that one.
I feel like it wasn't a funny smart ass.
The Man
to
from
me.
Uncle.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same. But I don't.
Yeah,
he
you
can
don't
do
care.
It. I don't care. He's funny on Instagram. He is funny on Instagram. Thank you, Sophia. In real life, he's funny.
All right. So of my two, who will we push into the next round? Dylan?
Dylan.
Dylan
He has
or
the
Tyler
snark.
Hoechlin?
Dylan.
Dylan. Okay. We're agreeing on Dylan. All right. Natasha's 3.
Henry Cavill, Charles Melton, Thomas Doherty.
I'm voting Henry of these 3.
I
I'll
vote
say
Henry.
Tom.
All
Henry
right.
wins.
Looks like Henry's winning.
Cheyenne said Henry. Avery said Henry. With 2 exclamation points.
I'm Nahomy. We've got Rega Jean Page and Ian Schmolderholder. I'm voting Ian Schmolderholder.
I vote Ian.
Oh yeah.
It's hard not to when like he's what I pictured.
In a perfect
All
world.
right. We're moving on to Nesta Archeron, our pride and joy arc of the series here. Nahomy, you kick us off.
I have 4, but I was trying to like narrow it down. I feel like I'm gonna take this one. Okay, so my first option is Natalie Dormer.
Oh,
Okay.
She is in Game of Thrones. What else is she in? The Hunger Games.
she's
And
my fa-
then
I love her.
yeah, I love her too. I have Florence Pugh, of course, Queen. I don't know if she would do it, but if she would take the role, but Florence
She
Pugh.
would kill this role.
Yeah. And then I have Elizabeth Gillies.
Who's
She's
that?
in Dynasty and she was in Victorious. She played Jade in Victorious.
I don't know any of those. Hold on.
Yeah.
Really?
Cara Delevingne would also
Oh,
kill
is she
it.
the main one in Dynasty?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I
Yes.
see her now. Yes.
And lastly, I have Cara Delevingne.
Oh,
Yeah. Wow, I could actually really see her as Nesta because she has that really fierce look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's that intensity, and she can be really mean in like endearing ways.
She was in the show with Orlando Bloom where she was like already a fairy too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, the Carnival Row.
Yeah, where you went to the set of.
visit. Yeah, yeah. I really like. Actually, now I'm leaning toward Cara Delevingne. I love Natalie and Florence too, but I feel like Cara actually it'd be excellent in that role, and she might do it. Like,
Yeah.
if offered the role.
Brooke says, I think we need to get one of the women who is incredible in horror for Nesta, like Florence or Anya Taylor-Joy, because horror is such a big part of her arc, and it's so hard for so many actors to pull off. Yeah, people in my chat were talking about Anya Taylor-Joy would be great for Nesta, and I do agree with that too. I also think she would be great for Feyre too.
Yeah. Yeah, she's so talented. I feel like she could do anything. Natasha, you go next.
Okay, so if you guys saw The Little Mermaid, Jessica Alexander plays Ursula on land. Or what's her name?
Oh.
Vanessa. She plays Vanessa. And she literally balls to the walls. Like, she would be incredible as Nesta. And just the little short bit that we saw of her, I really like her. And then I picked Simone Ashley, who is in Bridgerton. She is in season 2 as...
Oh my God, she'd be so good.
Yeah.
She basically plays a Nesta character.
Right?
Like on a much less dramatic scale, but
Yeah.
still.
And they're both in Little Mermaid.
Simone Ashley's in Little Mermaid too?
She has one line. She's one of the
Oh.
sisters.
Oh, wow. All right. I love all of these choices. Like, so my Nesta Artron presentations here are Florence Pugh. Again, she's just fantastic. And Sophie Turner Jonas, because I think she'd make an amazing Nesta too. She's also really got that, like, I mean, oh my God, what the fuck is her name on the show? On Game of Thrones, what is her name? Sansa.
Sansa.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Sansa Stark has a very similar Nesta-like demeanor as well, and she is so good at it. Like the arc that Sansa goes through in Game of Thrones is so beautiful. Like she really, you don't like her in the beginning, and then by the end you absolutely love her and would do anything for her. Like she's the queen of the north, fuck yes. And I can totally see her pulling off Nesta in a very similar beautiful way. So all right, of these two, Florence Pugh and Sophie, who do you guys vote for?
Florence.
Flo. We've got. Okay.
Well, wait,
have
Naomi didn't vote.
Yeah. Naomi.
No,
vote.
yeah, I also vote Florence.
It's because she has got Florence on her list too.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Natasha's.
Simone, Ashley, or Jessica Alexander.
I'm voting Simone.
Simone.
Yeah.
I vote Jessica
And-
Alexander, but fine.
And then, Naomi, you want to present yours one more time?
Yeah, we'll do Natalie Dormer, Elizabeth Gillies, and Cara Delevingne.
Listen, my
I'm
heart
voting-
says Natalie Dormer, but she's definitely aged out of the character.
Yeah, I think she's
True.
aged out of 19.
So Cara Delevingne.
I'm going to say Cara Delevingne, yeah. All right. Cassian. Our
This was
bae.
the hardest one for me. I'm like, this has to be an unknown, like, actor, because
Yeah.
there's nobody.
I
for me
basically
right now.
picked an unknown actor.
Did you? Okay.
Natasha, you want to go first this round?
Yes. Okay. So all of TikTok has decided that this Turkish actor Cam Yaman is going to play Cassian, and I see it. Yes, he is in this really
Ooh.
cute like rom-com show, in like this Turkish rom-com show, and I can't pronounce the name of it. But he is so Cassian. He has like a little man bun, and he's just hot. Love him. If you look him up on TikTok, you can see all those little scenes he's in, and he's great. And then I decided, because I'm obsessed with Little Mermaid, that Jonah Howard King, who plays Eric, could be Cassian, because he's got that softness that Cassian has, and I feel like he could also like rev it up and like bring a little bit of a slyness to the character. But honestly, I just put Cam because that's who I wanted. Amy says I see Kelmos as Cassian, but he might also be too old. He's also old, and he's a terrible actor.
Yeah.
We just rewatched
my
The
God.
Immortals, and he's so bad in it.
What is the Immortals?
That movie with Henry Cavill, and he plays Poseidon. Kellis plays Poseidon in it.
Oh my God, I vaguely remember this. Okay. All right. My two for Cassian I have is, the first one, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yes!
He is Kick-Ass from Kick-Ass.
Him.
I love him so much. I don't know if you saw him in Bullet Train, but he's like definitely grown into himself, and he's beautiful.
That man
And-
is so fucking hot. He's also
Yeah.
going to be in the new Sony Craven movie, and literally him in the poster, I was like, who is that? And then I looked at the trailer and I was like, oh my Lord.
Literally, this man is like a chameleon, because like I never
Yeah.
recognized him at first. I'm like, who's that hot guy? And I'm like, oh, that's still Aaron? Like, he has so much range. Like, he's always different in every role I see him, and he's so good in every role I see him in. So I think he could be so good at being Cassian. And then I have Michael B. Jordan as my other option because I also think he could be such a great Cassian. I love Michael B. Jordan, and I feel like I've been seeing him a lot as a villain now, and I'd love to see him
He'd be
a good
really
guy
good
again.
in this role. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if you saw it in Parenthood, he plays like this really wonderful boyfriend, and he is so fucking ripped in Black Panther. Like that combination of those two characters.
With his hair like that too, like, or like in dreads, and then in like a man bun in the back. Oh, fucking hot.
Yes. Yeah, I think he'd be amazing. All right, Nahomy. Give us your Cassians.
This one was hard for me. So I have Boo Boo Stewart. I looked at pictures of him now, and I'm like, maybe he could. Yeah. And then I have the most ridiculous, which is Jason Momoa, and he's way too old. But I'm like, I don't know. He has the look.
I can see it. Yeah.
Jason was my Azriel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah. Boo Boo is just like still too skinny for me to like be a Cassian.
He could beef up though. Like he could totally do it. I could see
He could. Yeah. But
Is
like
his
right
voice
now,
deeper now?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in anything. I've just seen pictures of him.
I think because I didn't watch The Descendants, so I don't know. But I know that.
I also don't know where he is on the acting scale. Like, I don't know if I trust him for such a big role. But maybe he's, gotten grown. And I literally haven't seen him in anything since Twilight. So, like, I don't know.
He was in X-Men Days of Future
judge.
Past. That was the last thing I saw him in.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, of Naomi's, I'm going to vote Momoa.
I'm going to vote Boo Boo.
Ooh, okay. I thought Momoa was a given. Everyone, Boo Boo or Momoa for Naomi's picks here. Amy votes Boo Boo too. Boo Boo. Oh, okay. Looks like Boo Boo's. Wait.
There's lots of O's going on here.
Boo Boo, Boo Boo, Boo Boo. Looks like Boo Boo won. Okay, we're gonna go Boo Boo. We're on a speedy voting thing here. All right. Of Natasha's, I don't know either of these people.
Well,
I don't know who to pick. Can you say their names again?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you looked up who?
I was going to say I looked up Cam, so my vote is Cam.
Cam,
you just have to Google him, Christine, that's all. Like, you don't need to watch a clip of his acting. Like, just Google him.
Just Google. He looks like Cassian.
He does.
All right, I'll go with Cam.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, who are we voting for?
Yours are hard.
My choices?
I don't know.
I feel like these are perfect choices. I don't
They
know
are.
either. Aaron Taylor Johnson or Michael B. Jordan, y'all.
Okay, I'm going to say Michael B. Jordan, and then can you move Aaron Taylor Johnson to your Azriel? Or I'm going to take him.
No.
I'm
move
taking him then.
But I want Aaron to pay. I want to vote Aaron.
Okay, everyone in the chat vote. No. Okay,
Naomi
everyone
was gonna
has
vote
to
Aaron. Oh, Avery's voting Aaron. Okay, Aaron's moving.
Damn it.
Okay, all right. We're going to Azriel. Okay, and we're gonna go a little speedier with Azriel. So I'm just gonna pick one here. So I've got. Oh shit! What did I do? Okay. I'll go first here. For Azriel, I really wanted someone like moody and dark, but funny. So I went Rob Sheehan, because I would love to see someone like Rob Sheehan play Azriel. I think it'd be hilarious. Because Azriel's kind of like on the fringes of every scene, but never really at the forefront. And I think to like give the character that punch, it would be fun to see him have like a lot of personality. So Rob Sheehan, who, if you don't know, he's from Misfits, he's from Umbrella Academy. He plays the one who could see ghosts in Umbrella Academy. He was in City of Bones playing Simon. He's so funny and so talented, and I just want to see him do more things. Natasha, who do you have for us?
I have Winston Duke. He plays M'Baku in Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Damn.
That man is thick, and I love him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything else. Has he been in other stuff?
He was in the movie Us.
What?
The scary
Who did he play?
movie.
Yeah, who did he play? Was he the dad?
He was the dad. Yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. Okay. I need to rewatch because I watched those not at the same time, so I didn't even register that. But everyone in Us was amazing and so scary.
Brooke said someone said Rob Pattinson as Azrael, and it hurt me inside.
No.
No.
No Rob in any of this. I like thought about him and I was like,
Yeah,
no.
me too.
No.
Naomi, you can't have him. You have to pick somebody else.
What do you mean? Dylan?
Didn't we already choose Dylan?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was
We
thinking
can still
about earlier.
present him.
Okay.
Because I think he'd be good for this role too.
I know, that's what I was thinking too, yeah. So I
ahead,
have
present him.
Dylan O'Brien for Asriel. I didn't
You can't top him.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I'm sorry.
I feel like he's not dark enough, but I also think he could do it. Like, he's talented.
Yeah.
Dylan could do anything. All right.
Yeah, his funny talents would be lost on Azrael.
Well, this is the thing. I think Azrael could be a funnier character if someone played him who was funny, you know? Because he has really moody stuff, but moody can be really easily comedic. So I really wouldn't want someone too serious to play Azrael because I feel like the character would get really boring because we already have a lot of seriousness in the core cast. Like, Feyre's really serious. We've got Rysand, and hopefully he's funny. But if, like, Azrael was more, like, moody funny, they'd play off of each other really well. So, I don't know. All right. Amren, I'm saying it right?
Yes,
Amren?
you are, for once in
All
your
right.
life.
All right. Let's go Nahomy first for Amren.
Okay, for Amren, I have Stephanie Shu, and she was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. She was a daughter. And then I have Miss Jenna Ortega, which is Wednesday
They would
Addams.
both be so good. Jenna's, like, perfect. She's just too young in my head right now, but, like, perfect.
Amren is timeless.
tone. Yeah, she is. What about you, Natasha?
I have Amita Suman, who plays Inej.
Yes, I think she's a great choice too. Oh my gosh, so many great choices. I hope the casting people just pull these. Okay, I have Kristen Stewart for Amren because, like, she is the look and tone that I have for Amren in my head. Like, she comes off, like, kind of, like, you might be intimidated by her, but then she is really kind, you know? To Nesta, at least. And then I had Maisie Williams as a second choice because I was just in Game of Thrones head, and I really think that Maisie could do it too. But all of these people, I feel like, are great choices.
Do we have to pick one for each, or are you
I don't
guys...
think we have to pick for these. Like, I feel like just the core cast, we were playing that game, but it takes too much time. Right? Yeah. All right. Elaine. Who are you presenting for Elaine and Natasha?
Hold on, I'm trying to find... Oh, okay. So Emily Carey plays the young Alicent Hightower in House of the Dragon. And I think she would be really great for this role.
I can see her in it. Brooke, wait,
Brooke
she's
says,
perfect.
wait, she's perfect.
Nahomy, who do you have?
For Elaine, I have Ella Purnell, and she plays Jackie in Yellow Jackets. And she was also the main girl in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
What? She what?
Yeah.
Jackie was in Miss Peregrine?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Yeah,
No, I have only seen that movie one time.
me too.
Damn.
Oh, I totally forgot about Yellow Jackets. I could have been pulling all those young actresses from that show.
I know. There's so many good ones in there. All right. I have Natalia Dwyer from Stranger Things. She plays Nancy. I think she really embodies Elaine as well. So, all good choices. And next we have Stupid Lucian. Who would y'all cast as Stupid Lucian?
I moved Will Poulter down to this role.
He would be a perfect stupid Lucian.
I'm just gonna take this guy out because it's Will Poulter now. I had Richard Madsen, but no, it's Will Poulter.
I have Timothy Chalamet or Tom Felton. I think they
Tom Felton, yes.
Yes, I think Tom Felton would be so good as Lucian. I want him there. He's perfect. Draco, like round 2, older. Oh, Nahomy, who do you have?
I have Cameron Monaghan. He's
that's
from
also a really good
Shameless.
one.
Okay, moving on to the Weaver. I took a more comedic route here because after seeing Ali Wong in Beef, I feel like she'd be so funny as the Weaver. Like, I'm gonna fucking eat you. Like, she's so fiery and so funny. I love her, so I would love to see that. What about you, Natasha?
I put down Meryl Streep.
Like, they could get Meryl Streep.
Right? Okay, but then also, because I just watched the Barbie movie, I put Kate McKinnon down.
She would be great.
I think she'd be so funny.
Yes. Like, I'd really love to see, like, a comedic woman in this role. What about you, Nahomy?
I put down Eva Green. I was also thinking of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and her dark vibes.
Yes. Yes. I can see that, too. Brooke says I keep seeing the woman who plays Bagra in Shadow and Bone. And, like, she plays Madame Hooch in the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, she does.
Oh, that's
And while she's great, I think it would be funny for her to look young because that's scarier. When she wants to eat you. And now that I feel like the Weaver might... Never mind. All right. Aramantha! Let's cast this bitch. Who do you have, Nahomy?
I have Emmy Rossum. I'm not even a big fan of Shameless, but I have so many people from Shameless, but she's the main girl from that show. I don't know what else she's been on, honestly.
I've seen... She was in Poseidon,
Emmy?
the new version, when the cruise ship flipped upside down.
Oh, I've seen her. I mean, she's the Phantom of the Opera. She played Christine Daae. She was also in the new show with Tom Holland. She plays his mom.
Oh,
She's in Beautiful Creatures, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Throwback.
Yes. Oh, weird. She's a really great actress.
Yeah, thank you, Nicole.
Yeah.
She's got range.
Natasha,
Christine, what is this choice you have here?
I just watched Sleepless in Seattle again. I just thought that Meg Ryan would be funny as the Weaver. Because she's so sweet. So it would be that, like, that luring someone in with their sweetness and then they like...
Brooke says Olivia Cook as Amarantha, and I
Who's
also
Olivia
agree with
Cook?
that. She's also in the House of the Dragon.
Oh, I have to finish House of Dragon now. It's been too long. I had to go back to it.
Okay,
Natasha?
I have Priyanka Chopra.
Ooh,
Jonas?
I can see that.
Yeah, I think she'd be really great. I also put Emma Darcy because I think they play like such... I don't know. They have such depth. So,
What characters have they played?
they played Rhaenyra Targaryen, like the older version.
Oh, the older version.
Yes,
Okay, I have to watch.
you haven't seen them yet.
No. All right. I think these are all great choices. Now we're moving into the wild, wild west of casting the Acotar series. So, like, any other character you have a vision for, I'll kick us off here because I really needed to get my dude in here. And as Feyre's dad, I would love to see Brad Pitt. I honestly think he'd be perfect for this. Like, because we all kind of hate Fair's dad, but like, he's also like this former rich, wealthy stud who created like these three beautiful women, and who else but Brad Pitt?
It's like me and Henry Cavill, and then it's Christine and Brad Pitt.
It is. And then I thought it would be so funny if Ryan Reynolds played the voice of the house in the House of Wind.
Oh my gosh.
Because the house is so like kind of caring. I feel like we picture it as a lady, but how funny would it be if it was Ryan Reynolds' voice? It's kind of like giving me the vibes you get when you watch Never Have I Ever, and it's the voice of like that old tennis dude.
Yes.
Narrates for Davy. So I would fucking love that. And then imagine like Florence Pugh and Ryan Reynolds talking.
Oh my gosh. I really
What were you
like that a
saying?
lot. I was gonna say, what if like Julie Andrews was the voice of House of the Wind, the House of Wind?
She would be really sweet, but it wouldn't be like ha 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 ha. It would be like what we expect. Like,
true, I guess
you
right.
expect a Julie Andrews voice there, but to have it be like a Ryan Reynolds or like a Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell be too silly. But like Ryan's on the line.
Okay.
Brooks says it would be funny to have Julie Andrews' voice talking about raunchy books, though. It would. But wouldn't it be really funny for Ryan Reynolds to be talking about these raunchy books?
Yes. My castings. I have more here. You forgot more in your casting. By the way.
All right, I didn't forget more. I purposely didn't put her because she hasn't been in the last couple books much at all. But she's in this book a lot. Akamath, I think.
I did have Anya Taylor-Joy, but I've ended up casting her in every single role. I'm gonna put Margot Robbie here because yes, she would be perfect.
Yes, she would. She is perfect for that role. And then who do you have?
Oh, and then I have Ianthe here, and I put Sophia Wiley, who's from High School Musical, the series, and also from the Good and Evil movie.
Who does she play in High School Musical, the musical?
I don't know, some mean girl in it, but I mean, she's
mean girl.
She's one of the main leads in the evil, the Good versus Evil movie on Netflix.
Interesting. I don't know her. And Nahomy, who do you have for us as our final casting choice here?
I have Mr. Tarquin.
Nice.
And for that, I have, his name's Kanan Lonsdale, and he is the love interest in Love, Simon. So Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. So the love interest.
Wait, what? Bran?
Wait, who's
Bran?
Bram.
Bram. Yes. Yes. Oh.
I don't know what else he's been on.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what I've seen him in other than that. Yeah.
Who's Tarquin?
Oh my God. Avery just said, for some reason, when I think of Ianthe, I just see Britney Spears. And I love that casting. That's hysterical. Tarquin is the Lord of the Summer Court. So when they go to the Summer Court in Akamath, he is the Lord. Yeah. And he's a nice guy. All right. So those are our casting choices. We'd love to hear your thoughts on all of them. And of the ones that advanced, who would you cast? Like, please leave us a comment. Leave us a comment on Instagram if you're listening, not on YouTube. We love to see your thoughts. And you can follow us on Instagram at Those Working Fangirls. All right. We're going to move into Mary, Kiss, Cliff. All right. So this week, in honor of Barbie coming soon, I have 3 Barbie-esque leading ladies to choose from here. We've got Margot Robbie, we've got Reese Witherspoon and Cameron Diaz, just like the Legally Blondes of the world here. And who are you gonna marry, kiss, and Cliff of these blonde, legally blondes?
Naomi, you want to go?
I'll go first. I would kiss Margot. I would cliff Cameron. Sorry, Cameron. Oh. And I would marry Reese because her and I would have great conversations about books.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I think I would marry Margot because her life seems very exciting. And I think she's an up-and-coming Reese.
She's a great catch.
Yeah. I saw her in real life yesterday, and she's so beautiful. I'm sorry. Okay. And then I would probably kiss Reese and then cliff Cameron. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh. I feel bad for Cameron Diaz. I am going to, I think, also marry Reese to like have our book club together and kiss. Damn it! I'm gonna kiss Margot Robbie too. She's so beautiful. It's so fun. And poor Cameron Diaz. I love her too, but she's just like older now and out of the limelight. So I don't know what she's doing with her life. Oh, that turned out to be depressing. All right, we're gonna roll right on into chapter chat. We're talking about chapters 5 and 6 of Acotar today. All right, Natasha, you want to take chapter 5 or 6?
Chapter 6.
All right. I will lead us into chapter 5 today. Naomi, if you have any thoughts at any moment, please feel free to inject here. So we pick up where Feyre is like in the aisle screaming for help in her head to like on her way down to marry Hamlin. She's a couple feet away and she's like, I'm going to say no, somebody help me. Rysand shows up and he winnows her to the night court. He's like, it's time to make well on our bargain. I gave you 3 months of freedom and it's time for you to come with me. And she gets there and she's like, how dare you take me from my wedding? And he was like, I literally heard you screaming to be rescued. She's like, I didn't want to be rescued. I never said anything. And he's like, you were screaming it down the bond. And she's like, how does that even work? Anyway, what is that bond? And he's like, well, it's pictured as a bridge between our minds and there's a door to your mind and my mind. And when your emotions are heightened, that door opens up and I can easily feel your thoughts when you wake up in the middle of the night having like a PTSD episode and throwing up. Like he is pulled into her mind, basically. Like he wakes up and there are moments where she's super upset and she's basically screaming her thoughts down the bond at him. So she's like, how do I stop doing that? Suck it out. Tell me how to stop it. And he said she has to practice shielding her mind. And so what
leads to her throwing the shoe at him?
Oh, well, basically just the fact that he stole her from her wedding. She's still being like so annoyed by it, even though she was literally asking for any way out of this. And I think it's basically that confronting yourself with something that you don't want to confront yourself with, like the idea that she did want to be rescued, even though she's saying that she didn't because she's annoyed it was Rysand, you know? Yeah. And she's just like, ugh. And she throws the shoe at him. And he tells her that, like, not in this scene, but like later on, that like, you know, did anyone ever tell you that you're actually very strong even for a high fae? She's like, no. That's right. You're a special fae. And so she goes to her room and she's like, is it a jail cell? And he's like, no, it's a room. You're a guest. You're not a prisoner. And the house is like open windows, just like out to the mountains. There's no glass. And it's just like, so there's no bugs and like no need for security, which is so oddly.
Bugs, that's the first thing you think of.
It's like oddly freeing and also scary because I feel like you can just fall out of it. And I was wondering, is this, I don't think this is the House of Wind because they have like 3 different houses, but it does feel like it's like
so.
Up in the mountains. And there's a
Is this the one that they go to for Starfall though?
I think this is where they go for Starfall because she describes this bath that's like literally overlooking a cliff. It's like outside. It's huge. It feels like a pool. And I believe
beautiful.
there's a very memorable sex scene from A Court of Silver Flames from after the Starfall night where Cassian and Nesta get it on for the first time.
I don't remember that. I don't remember the bath.
Which bath do you remember?
I don't remember the bath. I don't know. I don't remember them looking. Yeah.
Okay.
I do like have to interject and say like that he talks about Under the Mountain and where his court is, and she's like, "Are you going to take me there?" She's getting like nervous again.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, Under the Mountain's like an occupation. This is my home." And so it's like our first inkling.
Yeah.
And then also we hear when Feyre throws the shoe and Rhysand leaves the room, I think it's Moore that says, well, that went well.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, so she's kind of warring with what she wants to think Rhysand is and all these hints that she's getting that there's more to his character than this villain she's painting him as. And she got a hint of it, obviously, Under the Mountain at the end. Because she was like, oh, I thought that you were different and that was just a mask. And it was. But when Moore almost goes to open up, like, the better part of him in conversation, he's like, enough, Moore. Like, don't talk about it. So he's, like, kind of shielding himself because he doesn't want her.
No, he interrupts her because she was like, wait, I didn't see you under the mountain. Like, where were you? She goes, oh, I was. And I think she was about to tell him about the, where she was.
Yeah.
Because he was shielding the city.
Yeah, because he was shielding it, which is like showing the better part of him. Like the part of him that was sacrificing himself for everybody. And he doesn't want Feyre to know it yet. Because he almost like wants her to figure it out for herself and not like have someone else arguing for his goodness, you know? Because he has, like, a PTSD moment when she says, like, how dare you do that after what you did to me in the mountain, under the mountain. And he, like, stiffens and gets this look in his eye. Like, his breathing heightens and stuff. And he gets it under control really fast, but she notices it. And I think it's him, like, having that moment with, like, did I step too far? But like I was doing it, like, warring with his own moral compass in his head, like hoping he didn't do permanent damage to her and all that stuff. Yeah.
We also learn about like the night court because the first thing Feyre says is, I thought it was going to be dark here all the time. And then he's like, honestly, that's what I thought too when I first was reading it. And then he's like, no, we're a solar court and we adhere to the laws of nature. And the other courts are like a symbolic nature, and that there's something to do with the magic that ties those high lords to, constantly keeping them in, winter or spring, or and that their nights are spectacular, and that some of their the residents there decide that they stay up all night and then sleep all day, and so I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. And so I love that. So in the last chapter, Feyre's just like raging about how much she fucking hates this dress and she despises everything about it. And then Rhysand's like, oh, I hate how they dressed you up. Like, you're like his present, like you're like a prize for him. And she's like, well, what's wrong with that? And it's like, you were just saying how much you hated this. Like, shut up. You agree with this. And yeah, he just shows so much disdain toward the outfit and like what it represented in terms of like kind of erasing who she is just to present her as a trophy to Tamlin for really, like, when she's really the person who freed them, you know, like, she's the person who made it so that everyone is free, broke the curse, but she's just kind of like giving herself as a gift to just be like a rose in glass for Tamlin for the rest of time. And Rysand just hates that idea. Every time he thinks about it, you could tell he's just like, she's so special. She shouldn't be subjected to this life with Tamlin. But so anyway, she goes into her room. The bed is much comfier than the one at Tamlin's house. And she has stuff in her closet to wear that's so comfortable. It's like this turquoise sleep outfit. It's like a turquoise crop t-shirt and comfortable pants that she sleeps in. And in the morning, the two shadows that got her painted every day for Rysand under the mountain are there to help her dress, and they're in a corporeal form. She's like never seen them as people, only shadows. So that was really interesting. And she goes down for breakfast, and Rysand's like, okay, so today you're going to learn to read.
Well, he tugs her down through the bond.
Yes, he summons her through the bond. She's like, I'm not a dog to be summoned. And he's like, oh, I just thought you might get lost on the way here. And yeah, she's like, I don't want to learn to read from you. They no thanks. But he makes a case for it, and that's what they end up doing today. But before that, they kind of have a talk about, that's when they talk about the bond. They talk about Moore. We meet Moore, his cousin.
Yes, chapter 6.
Oh, is that chapter 6? Oh, shit. Okay, I mixed up my notes. Where does chapter 6 start?
Well, chapter 5 ends when he's like, Feyre, you're going to learn how to read.
Okay. So before that, they talk about like the bond and stuff. And
they talk about like her shields and how like he's clawing at her mind. Or like Feyre can only blast her thoughts to Rhys when her shields are down. So they had that conversation at breakfast.
Okay. All right. You want to pick us up here? Chapter 6?
Yeah. So then I think it's the next day. I don't know. Rhys
it's that morning. Yeah.
It's that morning. Okay, so Rhys makes her read and wants her to practice her shields. And Feyre's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do any of this. And then I'm like, what do you mean? What are you going to do for the next week? She's just going to sit there and do nothing. So like, at least their time is productive.
Yeah.
So Rhys then is like bringing up, he's like, well, what other powers do you have? Because I think it's quite interesting that you got a nugget from all of these high lords and some power must have transferred to you. And she's like, I got nothing. There's nothing.
She just hasn't even thought about it. She's been so preoccupied.
And then Feyre says like anyways, he started talking about Under the Mountain. Then she's like, you want to talk about everything you did to me Under the Mountain? Then Rhys starts like to freak out and get mad at her, and then nothing happens. Then Moore walks in, and she's beautiful, and she is so kind and hugs Feyre, and she's like, you're gonna be my new best friend. And she's cousins to Rhysand, which I completely forgot that she was his cousin.
Well, they're not. They're only cousins in the loosest sense, he says. So like they grew up together, so she's like family, but they're not actually related, it sounds like.
Oh, okay. Now the rest of this, was I really listening to the rest of the book? You might have to help me out here.
Okay, I'll help you out here. So more kind of senses that Feyre's getting under Rhys's skin, and so she kind of forms a really nice, quick kinship with Feyre by being like, "Ooh, I love when people like annoy Rysand. Like, we're gonna be great friends." And she leaves, and we start the reading lesson basically because Rysand's like, "You're gonna be a high lady. You need to do correspondence. Like, you need to know how to read." And so he gives her a sentence to read. And she sounds it out, and it says, "You look absolutely delicious this morning, Feyre."
I was like, I love the way you look in these clothes.
In those clothes. And she's like, "Oh, you pig." And he's like, yeah, I am a pig, but it's true. You look amazing in those clothes. And she gets really annoyed. And then he gets into her head and he's like, push me out. And she does manage to push him out using like a tidal wave of herself. Like she has to imagine herself as a wave to push him out. And then he is basically like, okay, I'm going to go for an hour and just practice your alphabet. And every time you go through the alphabet, writing it down once, then practice putting up your shields, because I don't want to hear your thoughts all the time. I mean, I don't. And she keeps calling him a prick in her head. And I think that becomes an ongoing thing where she's like, prick, get out of here, prick. And he's like, at least wait till your shields are up before you call me a prick, maybe. That's less rude. So he leaves and comes back. And basically we end kind of leading into the next chapter. He takes her up to this room with a big map of Perinthian, and she can't read it, but the Night Court isn't on the map anywhere. And that's kind of where we leave off.
Mm-hmm. It's like, what does that mean? War.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He says that, like, what would happen to your family if the wall came down? Like, hopefully they'd be able to escape. And she's like, is the wall going to come down? And he said, probably, most likely. So we land on that kind of cliffhanger. But, yeah. So a lot happened. These are long chapters, and I was almost thinking, like, should we just have read one? Because we're going over time.
A lot happened, but not a lot did.
What?
I feel like a lot happened, but not a lot did.
Yeah, not a lot actually happened. We talked about a lot of stuff that we'll build off of in the next, like, million chapters. Like, we're setting the groundwork for the rest of the series, really, with their relationship. So it was big. I'm excited for her to know how to read. All right. Well, that's our show today. Nahomy, thank you so much for being on. And you did so great. It was so nice having you. And we appreciate your support so much. Where can we find you online? Remind us all.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And you can find me at Nahomy's Library, Nahomy, on Instagram, YouTube, and I think that's it.
Nice. We'll leave all
Thank
of
you
Naomi's
so much.
links
Thank you,
in
guys.
the show notes. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who came and hung out in the chat. And we make videos. We put out episodes every Friday. So we will see you next week. Our podcast is edited by Alex Polis and Jake Needham, with music by Cole Jenkins and vocals by Heather Traska. I'm Christine.
I'm Natasha.
I'm Nahomy.
And we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
We're about to go record Fangirl Tea Time, y'all.